Hi everybody, it's Dara, and oh my gosh, I've been meaning to make this video for a couple of days. These almonds have been soaked overnight, rinsed, drained, and refrigerated for a couple of days. So I need to use them, and I need to talk about all of the wonderful things you can do if you want the most nutritious use of almonds. Then you're going to want to buy almonds that are truly raw. And a number of years ago in California supplies much of the world with almonds. But unfortunately, it was like a big uproar in the raw food community years ago when, due to a couple cases of something, they demanded that almonds were flash pasteurized, which really made them, it makes them, when you pasteurize something, it makes it not able to sprout. And the whole point of having raw almonds is that it's raw living food with digestive enzymes. And look, there's nothing wrong with roasted almonds or almonds that are not raw, but they're just not going to give you the same life force, and they're not going to digest as well and as easily. And if you think about a roasted almond and a raw almond, you plant them in the ground. The roasted one will never sprout. The raw one has an opportunity to sprout and grow life. Doesn't that just sound so much better? So I want to have a candle because I want to light Palo Santo, which I always have something smelling nice, aromatherapy, Palo Santo. So I buy my almonds from two places. Now, if you get Italian almonds, raw almonds are most likely not flash pasteurized. I've been getting mine from farms and also from Terrasol. And I feel really happy about that. And I am on a monthly subscription because I really don't buy boxed almond milk anymore, ever, or oat milk. I don't want the box. I don't want what they put in it to make it stay longer. I want my almond milk to go bad. Or my oat milk, or sometimes I make almond oat milk or almond pecan milk. So I like to be creative. I feel good about not having extra boxes for the environment and having only wholesome ingredients. So, hello, Lori. I'm hoping you can hear me and that everything's good, and the camera looks a little tweaked to let me just shift it a little bit. Let's see what's going on here. Looks a little bit too much sync. Not pro, but we're home together, and that's what's important. One day someone will film me, and I won't have to think about sound or film or anything. But that's okay. This is raw and real. So sprouted almonds are I gave up on my mic for a minute from the last time I did that video, and it was echoing. That's the worst. So I will get back to the mic in a minute, and it will sound so good. I'm doing a number of things at once, and I'm also haven't decided exactly what I'm doing with these almonds. I could do 3 things, and you guys can help me choose. In here is nettle tea. I feel really happy about this container from IKEA, and I feel really happy. I just received a present, a late birthday present, because it was the last silver one left in the US. It's Danish design. It's Ascot, A-S-C-O-T, and I got this from a loved one for my birthday, and this is the first time I'm using it. I've cleaned it out with regular water. I added spring water, and now I get to have nettle tea. I didn't realize that the tea kettle I was using was for coffee. It had a little spout. And I put it away a month ago. Then I found out I was allergic to coffee, and I'm so back on the tonics with a vengeance. Tonics, matcha, teas. I need hot liquids all day. It's my human design. Go find out your digestion at jennazoe.com. No, myhumandesign.com. I keep saying that. Anyway, I'm so excited about this tea. So we'll be brewing something. And for those of you who have my Tonics ebook, you'll know that I use teas, herbal infusions, as a base. In the morning, I'll use black tea or green tea or yerba mate. In the evening, a no caffeine version like a nettle. So happy Very lovely. Okay, we got some plug-in things. We got we have some equipment. So I definitely think one of the things I want to make is something I call cakeys. And I thought I was making a cookie with the leftover almond pulp from making almond milk, but it didn't really, it felt like a cake in the form of a cookie. So I call them cakeys. And so that's one thing, the little cakeys, and that's no big deal because after making almond milk in my almond cow, I will be left with a little dish of almond pulp that I don't want to throw out because it's so precious. And I will take flax seeds, and I've already ground up the flax seeds in my dry blade. This is a dry blade container. It's an extra attachment for my Vitamix. If you don't have one of these, which I love this for grinding anything, it's okay to use a coffee grinder or buy your flax already ground, but it's definitely the most nutritious and freshest if you grind it yourself. So I'll put the whole seeds away, but I usually keep a large bag from Sun Organics in the freezer, and I have this out for my morning to grind some fresh. So in the cakeys, just so you know, in case you want to get out of ingredients, I use the almond pulp, which is very wet when you use it from the almond cow. And I use the flax meal. And then I have this gluten-free flour, a general purpose gluten-free flour, organic. And I use some of that. I mix in some cinnamon, some coconut sugar, some maple syrup, pinch of salt, and some raisins. And it is so delicious. But first, we need to make not the tea, although that's going to be delicious. I have spring water in this, and there's 2 lines. I usually set it to the minimum amount of water because I like my almond milk creamy. And then I take, and I've been asked a lot, does this leave sediment? And maybe it's not as finely strained as when you use a nut milk bag. You don't have to have one of these to make almond milk. You can blend it in a blender, the almonds and water, and then sift it, strain it through a nut milk bag. I find this to be so easy, truly easy to rinse out, easier than a nut milk bag, but both are acceptable. Does this leave sediment at the bottom of my mason jar after I've made the almond milk? Yes, a little bit. Does it bother me? No, it doesn't. How do I know I'm allergic to coffee? Well, when I was raw for 10 years, it's not on the raw food diet, coffee, because it's acidic. And I think espresso is the least bad. But I've always known I get tweaky. It takes away from my beauty after a while. And I'm aware just energetically and that it dehydrates me. And I already tend to be on the dehydrated. Anyone with, a slow thyroid, or it isn't that. Maybe some people are hardier than others. I just always knew that after a while it didn't make me feel good. And I have been on and off of coffee for years. For 10 years, I didn't really have it. That's where Tonics were born in my Tonics ebook. So I knew that it was problematic, and then it would sneak back in. And it's like this seriously addictive, like super substance that shouldn't be taken lightly. I'm going to snap this in, and we're just going to make almond milk. So a number of years ago, I did a food allergy test with Dr. Sadeghi, and I found out I was allergic to coffee. And then a year or so later, I did one again, and I don't think coffee showed up. I don't remember it as being a major offender, but this time it was the most and only at the top of the list. And he said close to being like a number 4 is like close to anaphylactic shock. Like it's like number 1 no-no. And the night before I found out my results to the food allergy test, I did a coffee enema. And I also drank some over the holidays. Over my birthday, I was away in Mendocino. When I'm with other people, I pick up on what they want. Then I want it, and then I had it. And then the night before I found out my results, I had done a coffee enema, and I was up all night scratching my arms. Okay, we're going to plug this in. It's going to be loud. So basically, I was up all night scratching, and I told Dr. Sadeghi, and he's like, of course, you do the enema, and it's vascular in there, so it's going to absorb everything into your bloodstream. So now if I want to get fancy with enemas, I'm just going to use like apple cider vinegar. So For most people, though, I would say coffee, if you're going to have it, make sure it's organic and really question if it is, be honest with yourself. It's going to go one more time. I'm going to show you something. Okay, we're all done. Hi, Christina and Virginia. 3 things I can do with these almonds. One is the almond cakeys. I'm using the almond pulp. No, it's sorry. It's going again. Four things that are happening. One is the almond milk. Okay, that's just great. I have almond or oat or some kind of nut seed oat combination. I make it all the time. It's in my matchas, it's in my tonics. I use it for oatmeal. It's just so great. Chia seed pudding. So almond milk. And I love my almond cow. 2 is I always take the almond pulp and I turn it into something. And all you need is a bowl, and I'm going to show you. So that's cookie cakeys. 3, or you could just eat. You could actually just eat the pulp in the morning for a breakfast. Warm it up with some oats, and you know how to do that, I think. Let me know if you don't. Okay, so we have the almond milk, we have cakeys. We have something in front of me that I'm doing, which I am peeling the almonds. They have been soaked long enough. This is like a blanched almond. This is an almond without the skin. You could use hot water to heat to make it go faster, but these soaked long off. When you have white almonds without the skin, you can turn it into ricotta cheese. So how I would do that is I would take my non-dry blade or any high performance blender, and I would put the blanched almonds in the carafe with lemon juice, salt, lots of lemon juice, salt, and you could leave out the lemon juice and salt, and you could mix it with probiotics, and you're going to have it kind of like fermented. It's not necessary for ricotta cheese, so I am going to say that you would just do lemon juice, salt, and then you could season it with whatever. But for ricotta, you get like a fluffy, it's not a creamy like a cashew cheese, but it's a fluffy cheese that's great for topping any kind of vegan pizza, on a salad. It's just amazing. And you could make like a panna cotta, you could make like a sweet almond ricotta, and that would be so great for a dessert. Okay, and then the other thing that I was thinking of doing, which is I did this last week and it was so great. I took the almonds and I seasoned them after they're soaked. I didn't peel them. I took the almonds and I put garlic, salt, maple syrup, cayenne, and mixed them all up, coated them all up, and then put them on a dehydrator sheet. And then you dehydrate overnight or for 10 hours or for however long until they're crispy. And that makes such a nice snack. It could be crumbled up or modeled up to use on the topping of something for a topping. I find that having raw sprouted almonds, if you want a little snack and you want to make sure you have a little protein and you want to make sure that you don't have low blood sugar. Even when I go for walks to the beach, I was out for 3 hours today, and I was actually sorry that I didn't take a little snack in my purse, which I normally do. So almonds in a snack in your purse really can be so in your car, in your purse. So does anybody have any questions? And I'm thinking that the cakeys are going to be faster than doing the almond ricotta, which I believe is up here on YouTube. If anyone wants to find it and share the link, that would be so great. I don't know if all my videos are set back to public. They're supposed to be, but I was not in charge. So I didn't show up Sunday. I don't know if any of you showed up and I wasn't here. I literally fell asleep in the middle of the day and it was great. Okay, so this is really, I love that they give you, I thought this was really clever of Almond Cow, to when you open this up and it's dripping, you get to just rest it in here and it stands up. And I thought that was really clever. So this almond milk will go in a glass jar. All my kitchen favorites are on my website. In a glass jar, if I wanted to, if this was the only thing I was doing, I could blend back in a carafe, blend in a little maple syrup, a little vanilla, a little salt, maybe even a little sage, maybe a little cinnamon, and have a gorgeous recipe based on the Esalen Institute. Someone told me of this recipe where they put sage, cinnamon, maple syrup, vanilla, salt, and it's gorgeous. Am I going to go do that now? Probably not. But what I will do is I'm going to make the cakeys. And sometimes I dehydrate them. Sometimes I want them sooner and I just cook them in the oven, in my toaster oven. I don't think I've turned on my real oven So this is the pulp and it's definitely wet, which isn't bad for our purposes. I'll show you. It's not bad for our purposes of making these cookies because we need some moisture. We don't want it too dry because then the flax is going to bind. It's going to help the cakeys bind. Turn on. I'm preheating the oven. We're preheating. So this is the consistency. It's very wet. I don't know if you could see it, but that's okay. I'm going to get the maple syrup. We need that. So it's Christine, it's late in Virginia, isn't it? Like I'm doing this really late. I don't know who's up and where you are, and we definitely need salt. That is like a must. All right, so this is probably a couple cups, cup and a half of almond pulp. Maybe it's like a cup. Let's see. Let's give it a little test so we can have somewhat of a recipe. I would say it's about a cup. It's about a cup. Okay, so I will tell you about how much I'm using. Just approximate. I literally woke up so late today that I'm like raring to go now, which is fine. It's 11 p.m. there. That's not too bad. Your husband just left for the night shift, so you get to watch YouTube. That's so nice. What were you going to watch before I spontaneously appeared? I'm having nettle, which is so anti-inflammatory, and I'm going to put a little almond milk in it. And I could put a little maple syrup in it. Ooh. And how fun is this? I feel so pleased to be able to be here with you guys. And, I don't really this is why scheduled videos are hard for me. It's like, I was tired and I want to show up with my best energy. Hi, Clarissa. All right, so nettle helps. It's so beneficial on so many levels, but definitely anti-inflammatory. I love it. Hot liquids. Okay, so now we got a cup of the almond pulp, definitely moisture. That's okay. Did I say for sure? I know I said the Terrasol are the unpasteurized, never heated, steamed, irradiated, or chemically sterilized, like many almonds labeled as raw on the market. Okay, so these are from Spain. So we're good. We want live. And I may choose to dehydrate these cookies because that will keep it live. If I cook them, it's not live anymore. I could bake them on low, but we have a lot of moisture in here. So I can decide. I have my dehydrator sheet out and not a problem. The next thing I add is the flax, and then I add only as much flour as I need. So this is the ground flaxseed, which flaxseed, you know, they are delicate. They can go bad quickly, which is why I keep my large bag in the freezer and why I don't grind them until I use them. What is this? This is so funny, this copper, who knows what it is. It's 1/4 of a cup. So let's see what we're using to give you guys some measurements, which is something I don't do, except I'm making a recipe book, which you guys, I have, I'm gonna use 1/2 cup. No, let's try 1/4. Let's mix it. I have recipe books out that I'm very proud of. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I use at least 1/2 cup of flax. That's what kind of binds it. That's why we don't eat any eggy. I could have ground chia seeds too, which would also give us omega-3 fatty acids. And that's about right. About 1/2 cup, a little under. We want to add flax and chia seeds to our diet if we're vegan. We want to make sure we get the omega-3 fatty acids. The chia seeds give us protein. We're going to add the maple syrup and the coconut sugar, and then the flour goes at the end. Not really sure why, just how I do it. I would say that's 1/8 of a cup of maple syrup. Mix it around. Oh, I already want to eat it. If it tastes good raw, it's going to taste good dehydrated. If it, now the coconut sugar, I'm going to give it like 2 or 3 tablespoons. You guys are being quiet. What are you up to? I couldn't hear you anyway, but I love them. And I thought they were really weird, and they really love them. They're not too sweet. If you want to make it sweet, they can be sweet. But what a great thing. Oh, and then I put, when I'm done making them, one night I put, there's a vegan Cool Whip on the market. And then one night I put like some vegan ice cream, like a slice of vegan ice cream on top. And then they're just good with tea. So these will last, once you make them, at least a week in the refrigerator. They go fast, so they don't last that long anyway. Almond milk lasts 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator, depending on how cold your fridge is and how much air is in the jar. Less air, the longer it lasts. Okay, now we're definitely ready for, it definitely needs some, it definitely needs some flour, some gluten-free all-purpose flour. There's so many ways to make cookies, like clay. You could grind oatmeal. There's so many things you can do. It's really, I encourage you to play with your food and see. That's 1/4 cup of flour. Mix it. You can always add more. We want it to feel like it's going to form into cookies. And I think I want to add, that's 1/4 cup, I'm going to add more, but I want to add a handful of raisins and the cinnamon because it'll be harder to mix once it's doughier, right? Are you guys still there? Nobody's commenting. I got thumbs up though. Sometimes when there's no comments, you're like, am I talking to myself? Is everybody still there? Okay, 2 handfuls of raisins. We're going to put in a sprinkle of cinnamon. Oh, somebody's commenting. Have you heard of acaglumen? Acaglumen? Hello, Lucy from Texas. Thanks for speaking up. We're sprinkling cinnamon. Go at your own pace, but I will tell you, cinnamon, first of all, it's an aphrodisiac for men. Second of all, meaning they'll be for women. Dr. Almond, who studied the brain, said, this is really funny, cinnamon is an aphrodisiac for men, and baby powder is an aphrodisiac for women. So that's funny. So we have cinnamon. I'm going to put in some salt, a couple pinches. Tell us what that is, Stine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I see I have a cabinet open. I am in sore need of new cabinet doors. You know, do I get a whole new kitchen if I just need new cabinet doors? I don't need to. Let's do another cup. It's time. These are like old IKEA cabinets. I got them 10 years ago. And it's another half cup of flour, making a quarter cup, making a half cup. And the kitchen was so inexpensive. And I was willing to use IKEA cabinets, but I was concerned about the formaldehyde that off-gasses. So there's something that I learned that you can do if you're using any particle board. Obviously, nothing's going to off-gas from the formica part, the veneer, but it's the sides of the cabinets where it leaks out. So when you get a new closet or a new kitchen or anything that has press board, you can get a sealer to seal it off so it doesn't off-gas. And so we did that to the whole kitchen. But it's so ancient. It almost looks like they're yellowed and I love this kitchen so much, but it's time. And I just I'll do the kitchen over when I can make it better. Just to replace the cabinets, I want to have a little more pantry space and figure it out. So I'm hoping to get a kitchen designer person to help me. Laura B, what counts is that you're here. So it's getting there. I'm going to add another. It needs to be a little more doughy. So I'm going to add, it'll be a total of 3/4 cup all-purpose gluten-free flour, which you never had seen me work with before. This is the first time, really, in many, many years I've used flour like this, because in raw food you don't normally do that. I don't know. It was never part of my repertoire, but it's helpful for these cakeys. My kitchen's so cute and so functional, and it's had so much love in it, as you've seen, Laura B, throughout the years. So many people and love and food and feeding child and friends. And it's really, I've been so fortunate and blessed. The kitchen is filled with blessings, but there's also really, all right, one more. So it's a cup of flour. So it's a cup of gluten-free flour, a cup of almond, very watery almond pulp from the almond cow, almond milk. And then it was only, I forget how much of the flax. It was probably half a cup of flax. So acid-glumen is a tablet to take in case of decreased or lack of acid production in the stomach. I wanted to hear if you mean that is something you need. Not that I know of. I don't know that I need that. Good memories watching recipes made here with guests. Oh my gosh, so many guests. And hi, Trevon. Welcome. So this is Sunday's video happening on a Monday. I think it's time to use my hands. So what do you guys say? Should these be cooked cakeys or should I leave them to dehydrate? Yeah, it's funny. This is very moist almond milk. So I'm going to add a little more flax, which I have. So it went to 3/4 of a cup. That's what I'm going to say. Whoever's counting. Who's ever watching this extravaganza. I'm doing well today, Trevon. Thank you. I love doing my homemade cooking. I am rejuvenating and recouping after I was away in Mendocino for almost 2 weeks and did not have a kitchen. And I think I suffered. I think I need to make my tonics and I need to have my routine. I need to be able to make my smoothies and not really compromise. Yeah, let's cook them. There's no shame in the cooking of the cakeys. They're cakeys. They're like a cross between cake and cookies. So let's use my hands. Yeah, this is good. So they're a little more. It could be a little drier, but it makes them really chewy when you cook them, and they're chewy on the inside. All right, this is the dough. I would say it could be a little bit, it's a little sticky to my hand, but I'm pretty happy with it. I was away. I went to Mendocino, Northern California, miles away. I took a 2-day drive, and I spent time in the woods with friends and looking for mushrooms, and it was beautiful, but I ate some things I don't normally eat, drank some things I don't normally drink, and let's get a towel, and then we're just going to shape the cakeys. Christina says, cook. We're going to cook. Basically 350 degrees. Could be half hour. Pay attention to your toaster oven or your oven. Like, just gauge it. You want them crispy on the outside. Not crispy. They're never going to really get crispy, but like cooked enough. But there's nothing going to be bad if these are undercooked, right? There's no egg. There's nothing. This is my cute little toaster oven cookie pan. And this is the dough. And I'm just going to break off bits, and I'll smush it down into a cookie in a little bit. Somewhat around the same size, so they cook at the same rate. And I'm really feeling like this could have been a little bit drier dough, but it'll dry out as it cooks. I mean, this is all healthy. This is almond pulp. I'm going to have some leftover. I could bake this in the real oven on a larger tray. I'm glad. I want everyone's heart to be happy. So sweet. I can make this one a little bit bigger. But it's like playing. Just want to, and really I should have tasted it to see if it was sweet enough. Well, I trust that it is however it's supposed to be. Not too sweet, which is good. I might make the rest a little bit sweeter, but the raisins in it take it up a sweetness notch. And I don't want them to be shaped perfect, so that's why we don't have to worry. We just want them around the same flatness, so they cook the same. And that's it. Like, and you'll see them on Instagram. I'll post them. Cookies. I call them cakeys, Trevon, because they actually feel like you're taking a bite into cake and a cookie at the same time. And they're all healthy and nothing weird in them. Almond pulp, flax seed, gluten-free flour, raisins, cinnamon, maple syrup, and coconut sugar, and pinches of salt. And I could do some pinches on salt on the top. Salt brings out the sweetness and things. So if you don't want to make them too sweet, or you're having any diabetic anything, or you want to keep the glycemic index down, then you can use monk fruit in combination with a little bit of maple syrup and skip the coconut sugar. There we go. So I'm going to put them in. Actually, it did not. I don't know why it didn't. Yeah. Okay. So now we're up to, I'm going to season the almonds to make them dehydrated so that I can have almond snack, crushed topping for my cereal. And I think it's really good to do. So all I have to do is take this, where all these almonds that have been soaked overnight. Hi, internet family. Hi, Ray Ray. Hi, Sutton. Okay, we're going to put some maple syrup. We're going to put some salt. I want them to be salty. salty, dehydrated, crunchy almonds that are still living and raw. I always put cayenne in mine. I like them to be a little spicy. And I like them to be a little sweet, the maple syrup. I could put some coconut sugar in too. And garlic is nice. It's like a savory, sweet kind of crunchy thing. So many ways you can go. You can do Indian spiced ones with curry, some turmeric, and some Indian spices. You can do Italian flavored ones. Today we are looking for my garlic. Here it is. This is just my standard go-to way of making them. I like them garlicky and I like them salty. And you certainly can taste it before you dehydrate it to make sure it's to your liking. When things get dehydrated, they'll be a little bit more intense flavor-wise, but very similar. If there's a lot of moisture in something, the moisture dehydrates out and makes them more intense, but these are not going to. Super spicy. Oh, I have some more here. No, the spice is nice. And I just added more, so it will take away some of the spice. We're going to oh, you guys are so sweet. Our internet family. You guys are like all my family. Some of you are my nieces and nephews. Some are my sisters and brothers. I'm going to add some more salt. And I'm going to have a sip of my nettle tea. And we're going to make them a little sweeter with a little more coconut sugar. I'm thinking like you could do one with, we can do different ones each week. Right? You can do oregano and basil, dried basil, and make them like Italian flavored. I like the idea of doing the Indian sweet and spicy. These still could go that way because the only thing, there's nothing in it that would deter from making them a little Indian in flavor. I have a couple ways to remedy. I can just go easy with this one mix that I have. I have garam masala, or I have this surya, which is nice. This could be lovely. This is a company called Surya, S-U-R-Y-A, and it has coriander, cumin, fennel, turmeric, licorice root, ginger root, salt. So let's add some. Let's go crazy. Melissa, hi. Let's see how it tastes. I want them to be super salty. Yep, nice amount of sweetness. Beautiful amount of spice. They almost taste buttery. How gorgeous. And there's no oil. I'll add a little more of this. Beautiful seasoning. Use your spices, everybody, because they go bad. They don't stay forever. If you have old spices in the cabinet, it might feel very good to release them and start fresh. I feel so good when I use all of my ingredients. And when I need to purchase something new, it feels good. A little more garlic and a little more sweet, and we are styling. So this has been, we made 2 of the 4 things that I suggested we could make. Remember, I said we could do almond milk. Actually, we made almond milk. We made cakeys, and we made these spiced almonds. We did not make the almond ricotta, which I believe exists on this channel. And if we can't find it, I will do it again. All right, that's it. So now I move everything aside. Normally, as you guys know, When I'm in the kitchen by myself without video, I 100% clean as I go. It feels good to me. Hello, this is just so gorgeous. I want to take a picture. Ooh. I want to take a picture of it. This is too good to waste too. So if you have like little cut up cucumbers, or you have some lettuce, like use this. You don't have to waste it. It's so delicious. Putting the cakeys in. I'm very excited about those. Tonight I can have a sleepy time tonic, a little cakey, and feel so good, and watch a program on Netflix or watch something on YouTube. What are you guys watching? Okay, let's take a picture for us. You guys, me, the almonds. I like to share on Instagram. Instagram and YouTube are my places. I haven't been doing much on Facebook. I miss everybody everywhere. The almond cow, I'm sure they have almondcow.com. I really enjoy it. Anything that you're going to use that helps you to make something healthy is a good thing. And I was very hesitant to get the almond cow because who needs another appliance? Who wants to spend close to $200 on something? But ever since I got it, last December 28th, they had a pop-up shop on Abbot Kinney for 1 month. And I was amazed. And I thought, oh, I don't need one. I know how to make milk with my nut milk bag. But when I got it as a present for myself for my birthday, it's been over a year, and I have not purchased a box of anything since. And I find myself, it just is easier to make it than the nut milk. You're rewatching the Q&A? Oh, Mantic Demystifier. The Q&A she's referring to is I'm not sure how lovely you are, your name, but for anyone who bought any part of the astrogeography, the whole course that I made, or even the individuals, let's say you just got Saturn line, you want to learn where you can harness perseverance and discipline, or maybe you got Jupiter, find out where your blessings are in this world, or maybe you got the sun planet and you wanted to know where you have fame and recognition and the ability for people to see you and your work. And for anybody who purchased something or did a session with me, they were invited to a Q&A. And did you think it went well? I thought it went very well. Okay. Oh, I could spread these out more because the more you spread them out, the more likely they are to dehydrate. Could you make these stickier? I remember they used to be, if you use honey, it could be super sticky, but the maple syrup, I'm really excited about this. Did you know when you're using a dehydrator, you want to dehydrate it at 118 to 120 degrees. These will take more than 10 hours. I will put it on for like 15 hours and then check them and turn it on again if it needs more. But I kick up the dehydrator for the first 20 minutes to like 140, 150 because it needs to circulate the hot air. Something like this won't mold. Like, you have to be careful with raw breads and cookies and things that you want it to be high enough at first. I feel really happy with this. My website is DARA'S.com. I'm so glad, Melissa. She said, it looks lovely. You inspired me to get my greens on again. And that's how I ended every video for so many years. Get your greens on. All the geo, as I call it, is available on my website. So they're called Life Tools. And the first one is the North Nodes. It's in 2 parts. It's your Dharma. And it's the North Node part 1, which is the sign of your North Node, North Node. And the second part is the house placement. And it tells you about your life direction and your joy. And then astrogeography is a different course. And that one I show you how to look up your astrogeography. And then you can get whatever lines you want. If you notice you're born on a Jupiter and Venus, then get those. Anyway, I do recommend the whole course because it's a life tool to use always. And you can also help other people and see what's going on for them. Yeah, you don't want to dehydrate. I only turn for a half hour. I turn the dehydrator up and then I turn it down to 118. Yeah, you really want to keep it. I would say 118 is fine. So, ta-da! I feel really good about this. I don't feel super good about the mess, but it's a happy mess, much like my kitchen. Does anybody have any questions on anything before I hang up the phone and maybe clean up? I just want to draw, really. I want to draw and paint today. I got to do so at the beach. If you're following me and with me on Instagram, you will have seen that I got to draw at the beach, which is like dreamy. I don't know off the top of my head how much the course is. I lowered it and it's bundled at a very nice price. It makes sense to buy the whole thing rather than individually. If anybody has any questions, hello@DARADubinet.com. You can follow me at DARADubinet on Instagram. And I am, as always, so happy to be with you beyond. You cheer me. I love you. I am so grateful for our global family. You have no idea. And yeah, get your greens on and your almonds. And I'll see you guys soon. Like tomorrow, because I have a scheduled video Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Who knows what we're going to do? Oh, you're welcome. I'll see you. Bye.